She fights you.
Hello. My goal is to hopefully help you in some kind of way, whether it be through my own experiences of others that I either know personally or have seen, whether you learn, what to do from my experiences or what not to do from my experiences. And I won't be going into too much detail on those in this video, but the goal of all my videos will be to in some way help you on your journey to baby, okay? And baby stands for be a better you, okay? My goal is to help you be a better you, because you won't be a completely different person as you grow. You'll still be you, but the negative aspects of your personality and your character, we hope to get those out of there and, strengthen your strong points and, obviously pull up those weak points and make those strong as well. Make you a very well-rounded person. Anyway, let's get into it. If you were in your 20s, please don't date seriously. And here's why. Okay? You don't even know who you are. And of course, I know a lot of people say that and they want to sit back and they want to sound all deep. You don't know who you are, but you really don't. You don't know anything about yourself. I can guarantee it. Guarantee you don't know anything about yourself. And that self-exploration, that introspection, in my opinion, isn't, pushed or fostered as much as it should be, whether it be, in society or at the house, with your parents, if you have parents that are at the house. You don't know what your purpose is. You don't know what your goals are or how you're going to, obtain said goals. What are your morals? What do you believe? What are you set on? What are you going to stand on? The thing about this kind of stuff is it's already difficult enough to figure this stuff out by yourself. And then you bring another person into the equation that's more than likely going to take up a good chunk of your time that you should be using to figure out who the heck you are. I'm not saying that you can't have a girlfriend and and learn things, because there are a lot of things that you will learn through your actual experience. Totally fine. But seriously investing in someone else when you don't have a grasp on you, it's going to be real hard. It's going to be a lot more difficult to figure it out later when you're with someone than by yourself, because more than likely you won't have time to actually do a lot of introspection, or at least have the mental capacity after going to work and doing all your other normal obligations, right? You won't have the brain capacity to do it yourself, and what's going to happen is someone else is going to point it out. Now here's the thing. One tip: you always want to be looking and aware of when someone else points out one of your faults, okay? Because our first inclination is to be like, oh man, well, you get offended, right? And you feel like the person is just trying to talk about you. But just think about it for a sec. The first thing you need to ask yourself is, feelings aside, is what they said true? Yes or no? Okay. If it is true, does it matter who said it? Does it matter how they said it? Does it matter if they were just trying to be mean? Does it matter if they were just joking? No, it doesn't. If it's true and they're saying something about you, you might want to check yourself. The next thing. Finances. This is self-explanatory. Do you have a job? Are you saving your money? Are you working towards a better job? Listen, okay, money does not solve all your problems, obviously. But does money solve some problems? Obviously. That goes without saying. Like, there are a lot of problems that people have just because they aren't in an optimal environment. I'm not saying everybody's going to have every single thing taken care of and catered to them. And in the country that we do live in, which I do live in the U.S., we have a lot of luxuries that other people don't have. I'm very grateful for that, okay? But the point I'm making is that while you are single, if you don't have a job, you need to get one. Stack your bread, and not only just acquire money, you need resources, okay? I'm talking about some sort of property, some things that that will give you generational wealth, not just monetary value. And I'm not going to go into all those things, but you have a pretty good idea of what I'm talking about. But the first step to getting those resources is money. That's the bridge, okay? You want resources if you want things, whether it be a house or a vehicle, or maybe you want to, start a business. you need something to start off with. You gotta have some money in your pocket already. Build your credit. Goodness. Build it and use it. That's gonna be a good thing for you to. There are a lot of things you can get done if you have good credit. I don't even have to say a whole lot about that. That's self-explanatory. You can't date somebody seriously. And here's what I mean by date seriously, just to clarify. What I mean by date seriously is when you are dating someone seriously, you're spending money, spending time, also pouring out a lot, emotionally. You're investing a lot of yourself, all those things, your time, your money, your energy, your emotions into another person. And you do those things in hopes that it would lead to a very strong long-term relationship, marriage, whatever. Eventually, children, the whole bit. Okay, that's ultimately the goal when you date someone seriously. Okay, you're investing all these things, hoping to get a return in the future. So it's very difficult to do that when you don't have this. I'm sorry, but you ain't got this. You have a lot of unnecessary problems, and that's more so what I mean is. If you can avoid the unnecessary stuff, like you're gonna have issues even if you are financially stable. But if you can avoid the unnecessary stuff, do it. Take care of it now while you got the time, and don't flip over and be 30 and be like, "Where'd my 20s go?" Too many people are doing that. I'm trying to help you out a little bit and say, hey, young bucks, you 18, 19, 20, you getting in there. And for those that are even in your 20s, it's not too late to start. It's not. Okay. But if you can right now, start somewhere. Okay, start small. All right. The last reason why you shouldn't seriously date if you're in your 20s. You'll waste a lot of time looking around. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you should make it, if you see somebody you may be interested in, you don't go for it. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is there is a really good chance that you'll waste a lot of time. And you need to get to a point to where you can identify where a person is like that. So you don't waste time. The problem is if you don't have the first couple steps in order, like knowing who you are, knowing what your values are, and finances, you'll have a really difficult time identifying the kind of woman that you want. The market for a woman worth investing that much energy into. When I mean energy, I mean everything that encompasses investing in a relationship. Time, money, emotions, all that. The market for a woman like that that's worth doing those things for, it's not looking too hot right now. Okay. There aren't a whole lot of women that are worth the stamp of wife. There aren't. Even the Bible says, who can find a virtuous woman? As if like where they at? Where's she at? Where are they at? Who can, and that was a long time ago when that was written. But see what it does, it shows you the value for one. Not only are they highly valuable, but they're rare. And they're not just valuable just because they're rare, actually. They're valuable regardless of whether or not they're rare, but the rarity makes it even that much more valuable. If you are out, if you're fishing and you talking to folks and you dating around, trying to find, let me help you out a little bit, okay? You can find a whole lot out about a person pretty quick. Okay, the idea that it takes you years to really get to know who a person is. Dude, you don't have to spend 4 or 5 years dating somebody to figure out whether or not they're worth their marriage material. Okay, and that's a whole other separate video on what marriage material is. But it don't take 5 years, okay, to figure out whether or not a woman is marriage material. It really don't. 3 months. Okay, and this isn't just the end all tell all rule, but from my experience and from an OG. His words of wisdom, he made it very clear. You date a chick for 3 months, okay? And who she really is will come out. If she's being a chameleon and she's portraying herself to be this very supportive, submissive, sweet woman, give it 3 months, okay? And I've actually got a separate story on somebody that I talked to that had me fooled for a little bit. And stuff started coming out, okay? Because she was trying to hide who she really was. You remember there was a time where you either dated or married folks that were local to your community? You couldn't pull out a device and find a couple hundred to 1,000 people who were interested in you. It didn't work like that. There wasn't none of that. It was like, oh, well, such and such lives down the street that, I go to school with or that I met through such. Everything was local. Okay, but now there's so much more access to all these people, not only within the same country, but all over the world. It's like, it's very difficult to feel satisfied when you have access to all these other things, right? Because the mindset is, oh, but I could do better though. I could probably do better. Like, look at there's possibly something better out there. Anyway, I'm not gonna digress, but there's a good chance you'll waste a lot of time. Please don't do that, okay? Work on the first two. You need to get to a point to where you can identify where a person is at so you don't waste your time, okay? And if you don't know how to do that, you'll probably waste a lot of time. Anyway, I don't want to make the video super long, but I hope those 3 things kind of give you an idea of you should probably get some stuff together first before you decide to really consider adding a whole nother person in your life. So that's a lot. Especially if, you are a man of integrity. There is a lot of responsibility that comes with not only having a woman, but of course what would naturally come with those things is children, okay? And you want to have the most optimal environment for them possible. You want to do them right. Don't bring them here and you got all this mess going on. I hope that helped you out a little bit. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, so you don't miss any more new content. Because my goal through bringing this stuff out is to just help you get your perspective right while you still have your youth, because you don't want to waste it. Anyway, peace out.